We're here at JFocus, and it is fantastic. I'm Ixchel Ruiz, and this is Sander Mac.
Hi.
I hope I pronounced that correctly.
That's very good. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much. So, can you introduce yourself? What do you do?
Yeah, sure. So I'm a Java champion. I've been active in the Java community for over a decade already, and currently I'm working with a company called Picnic, and
Okay.
we are an online grocery scale-up in the Netherlands. We have an app where people order groceries, and we have built all the systems to actually do the delivery and make sure that the vehicles that we have arrive on time at the right place with the right groceries. Doing this in the Netherlands, but also Germany now and France. We're starting to roll out there too. So we are scaling both the business, but also the tech team very much at the moment.
And that sounds like a really challenging problem.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
is. Yeah,
in time.
especially looking at we're only 6, 7 years old as a company.
Uh-huh.
So in the beginning, it was just a handful of engineers, of course, trying to find the right product market fit, making sure that we actually building the right things. But now we have millions of customers. We're active in 3 countries, so these systems have had to scale in these intervening 6 years pretty quickly. And yeah, obviously that also means something for your development processes and for your quality of your code bases, etc. So that's been an interesting experience, and I've been part of this for now 2.5 years, and
Oh, nice.
yeah, it's very exciting.
No, but it sounds so amazing. I mean, the use case and
Mhm.
the challenges of how you have to grow so fast.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have an insane amount of good stories about that and challenges and
Yeah, so actually, I talked a bit about this this morning at JFocus here, and we do rely heavily on automation to actually make sure that we have a consistent and high quality code base. And I think one of the key reasons why we have been able to scale is that the team has done this not quite from the start, but pretty early on. Already started automating a lot of things that makes sense in terms of Java development. And what's really interesting is that one of the tools that we're using is called Error Prone.
uh-huh.
This is a tool open sourced by Google a couple of
Oh,
years ago.
nice.
Yeah, and this is actually not that well known in the Java community yet. This is also why I'm speaking a lot at conferences about this, because I think it deserves a much better reputation and much wider adoption. Because this is a tool that really helps us encode best practices and avoid anti-patterns in code, both by just applying the tool directly and getting a lot of checks out of the box, but also by being able to write our own checks and our own rewrites, actually, to do also refactoring of code at scale. So that's a really interesting tool that we use to get to the skill that we are.
I love about tools that are powerful enough to be used as is, but
Mhm.
also allows you to extend them.
Yeah, it's really extensible in that sense. Yeah. So,
Okay.
so just to give an example, if you look at our adoption rate of new Java versions, we went to Java 17 pretty much a quarter after it was released.
Oh my goodness!
And yeah, the cool thing is, of course, yeah, you get a new version, you get more performance, better security, but you also get new APIs, right?
Of course.
And then the question is, how do you adopt these new APIs? Because you have this huge code base, millions of lines by now, and are you going to go in and change every invocation to a new API? You're not going to do that. So yeah.
Well, it
Yeah,
could be,
you
but
could,
it's
but
not advisable.
I don't think our business counterparts would appreciate that very much indeed if we did it that way. So many companies then say, okay, we just do the Boy Scout rule, right? So if you touch a piece of code and you
But you
see
have to
something,
be sure that you are not having unintended consequences.
but also there's of course code that is untouched for a longer time, and then you end up with a mix of old APIs and new APIs, and this is where we're error prone, together with a tool called Refaster, which allows you to express rewrite rules from a particular API invocation to another API invocation. Is super powerful. So, for example, there have been many enhancements to the optional API and the stream API in Java. This has allowed us to actually, while moving to this new version of Java, also introduce these rewrite rules and then apply them automatically across all repositories, all Java repositories and code bases. So you're not only moving to a new version of Java, you're also using these new APIs already and making sure that
Yes.
your code is in the sort of
And you are taking approach like systemically, like on the whole ecosystem on your own organization.
exactly, yeah. And this is, of course, not just about tooling, right? So we also have our organization set up in such a way that we can do this. So we have a platform team for our Java services that is very much in charge of building this kind of tooling and making sure that we have these rules and that is part of our CI pipeline, that it is applied for all Java services that we built, and that way we apply this consistently across the whole organization. And yeah, what you see there is that the product teams that are using this platform have been able to move pretty quickly, for example, to a new version of Java, using also the newer APIs with this tooling.
Well, you have talked about so many things that amaze me in the right way. I mean, first of all, changing the or having this company culture that allows this moving fast but moving secure with moving with confidence that you are doing the right thing in the right direction. The other thing is applying policies to the whole ecosystem of your organization. That's sometimes really complicated. You have inside an organization some teams that have uh, solid practices and others are lagging a little
Sure.
behind it.
Yeah.
So you're telling me all about this, and I'm like, oh my goodness, what do you think are the were the biggest challenges for your organization when of adopting all this kind of tools, processes, practices, and the culture in itself?
Yeah. So it all starts with the people, right? So finding the right people who actually share this kind of mindset is top of mind for us, which means that we also have a very high bar in terms of recruitment, which means that we may have grown faster if we didn't have the bar, but that would also mean that we would end up with a code base that is not as maintainable and as it is now. So I would say it already starts with recruitment and finding the right people. Other than that, another challenge is that it takes time to write this tooling, right, and to get this setup right. This also means that you don't jump on every new trend and every new fad. So yes, of course, there are people who would like to adopt this small new tool or even new language, but you should also look at the costs of doing that. It's not just about applying a new shiny tool, but you're also losing sort of the benefits of the tooling that you have in your maybe a bit more boring because it's just Java. It's not the shiny new language, but it is something that makes you very productive, gives you super high quality code base, and gives you the confidence to move fast and to actually deliver for your business. So I think that is a mindset that you need to cultivate. And does it mean that we don't use new technology? Of course not. We do. But you need to do so at a deliberate pace, and you need to integrate it into your current processes and into your current tooling. So it's not just about just adding another kind of tool to your stack. It's also about thinking really hard about how does it fit into our whole process and our current tooling.
No, yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, from tools to dependencies, we all need to know when, why, and how, because every single one requires an investment in
For sure.
resources, either maintaining, refactoring, or upgrading. And each one of all of this will have a cost, in terms of how deeply we are integrated with them.
Yeah, no, indeed. That's definitely the point. That I think a lot of developers don't always appreciate in the abstract, but when they experience it, when they're part of a team that has this kind of tooling in place and that actually offers this, it clicks, they get it, and suddenly you see people being very happy, also contributing to this kind of tooling. So like I said, we do have a platform team that is making sure that we apply this and that we have this tooling in place. But using error prone also means that you can contribute your own checks and your own rewrite rules. And we see this happening more and more now across product teams too. So they see the benefits, and it's not just taking what is there, but also contributing back from the teams to the platform and making sure that the whole company, in that sense, gets a little bit better. So that's pretty cool.
Well, congratulations. And I mean, I'm super happy because every single time that I talk to developers and when they tell me about their products and they start by saying, we care about testing, we care about improving quality, then I'm happy to use their products.
Mm-hmm.
I'm extremely happy to use their products because I know that this mindset actually makes things better in the long run.
Yeah, it gives you trust into what you can deliver. So
Yes, yes. Well, thank you very much, Sander.
You're
It
welcome.
was illuminating and amazing to talk to you. Thank you very much for
Thank
that.
you as well.
And I hope to see you in the next Day Focus. And I wish you could see, but it's a perfect day out there. And I will post the links and names of the tools that Sander mentioned today in our chat or in the YouTube channel. So don't worry, it will be there. Thank you very much, Sander.
Thank you.